What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We've got something really cool to go over with you all today, especially if you've been playing EA NHL 26. First off, let's talk about the biggest addition that everyone is buzzing about, the EA NHL Divisional Showdown tournament mode. Now, this is a brand new tournament style mode that's been added into the game. And honestly, it's giving players a fresh reason to jump back into competitive play again. Instead of just jumping into standard matchups over and over, you now have something that feels a bit more structured, like you're actually working towards something through divisions, which can change up how you approach your lineup, your strategies, and how you manage your team from one game to the next. It's the kind of addition that might sound simple when you first hear about it, but once you start playing it, you realize how much variety a tournament format can bring to the experience. It gives matches more weight, more meaning, and it can really change how intense games feel, especially when you're trying to advance and not just playing a one-off match. What's nice about this mode is that it feels like it fits naturally into the game. It doesn't feel forced or tacked on at the last second. It feels like something that could keep players engaged longer, especially for those who might have been feeling a bit burned out on the usual modes. You're not just skating around for stats or quick wins, you're actually progressing through a competitive structure, and that alone makes the experience feel more rewarding. Whether you're playing solo or really trying to test yourself against others, this mode gives you another reason to fire the game up and stay locked in for more than just a match or two. Now, aside from the new mode, this update also brings in a series of stability fixes. And this is one of those things that might not sound exciting at first, but it matters a lot. If you've spent enough time with the game, you probably ran into moments where things didn't feel as smooth as they should, whether that was crashes, random freezes, or online sessions that didn't quite hold together the way you wanted them to. This patch focuses on improving overall stability across multiple modes, which means fewer interruptions and a more consistent experience when you're actually playing. And honestly, when you're in a tight game and everything runs smoothly from start to finish, you really start to appreciate updates like this. Along with the stability improvements, there are also gameplay and performance tweaks included in the patch. These are the kinds of changes that don't always jump out at you right away, but over time you start to feel the difference. Player movement feels a bit more responsive, transitions can feel cleaner, and the game overall just feels more reliable from shift to shift. It's not a massive overhaul to how the game plays, but it's more like fine-tuning what's already there so it performs the way it's supposed to. Those small adjustments can add up, especially if you play regularly and notice when things feel even slightly off. A lot of players have mentioned that this update seems aimed at cleaning up issues that carried over from earlier patches. There were certain bugs and performance problems that didn't get fully resolved before, and while this update doesn't magically fix everything, it does show that those issues are being addressed piece by piece. That's always a good sign, because it means the developers are still actively paying attention to feedback and trying to improve the experience rather than just leaving things as they are. Something else worth mentioning is how this update fits into the bigger picture of the game's life cycle. At this point, updates tend to focus on either adding new ways to play or making sure the foundation of the game is solid, and this patch does both. You get something new with the Divisional Showdown mode, and you also get behind-the-scenes improvements that make everything else feel better. That that balance is important because flashy additions don't mean much if the game itself isn't running smoothly, and technical fixes alone won't keep people engaged if there's nothing new to explore. When you do boot up the game after installing this update, the new tournament mode is definitely the main highlight you'll notice right away. But the longer you play, the more you'll feel the benefits of the stability and performance work that went into this patch. Online games feel more dependable, long sessions feel less risky in terms of crashes or disconnects, and overall, the experience just feels a bit more polished than before. What I really like about updates like this is that they help extend the life of the game. Whether you're someone who plays competitively all the time, someone who jumps in every now and then, or even someone who took a short break and is thinking about coming back, this patch gives you a reason to get back on the ice. It shows that the game is still being supported and refined, which makes it easier to stay invested. So overall, this update brings a solid mix of new content and important fixes. The Divisional Showdown tournament mode adds a fresh competitive angle. The stability improvements help smooth out the experience, and the gameplay tweaks make things feel more consistent and responsive over time. It's not a patch that completely changes the game overnight, but it's one that definitely improves how everything fits together and how it feels to play. That's the full breakdown of what's included in this update. If you've already had some time with it, you've probably noticed some of these changes yourself, especially once you get a few games under your belt. Thanks for hanging out and checking this out with me, and I'll catch you in the next one.